everybody. Welcome to the Christmas in July webinar from SOC Club. Thank you so much for voting in the poll. I think we can all use a little bit of holly jolly right now. So I appreciate you guys voting on that. Personally, I think my favorite thing about the holidays, I know I should say friends and family, but I think it's twinkle lights everywhere. So maybe that's something that we can do all year round. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for coming. This is our second webinar, and it looks like we had a great amount of success with people signing up. Thank you guys so much. I do want to say I did mess up a little bit, and I think more people signed up than could join the webinar today. So if anyone in your office is trying to join and is not able to, completely my fault, but I will send a recording of this webinar after so that we can all get the information. I'm so sorry about that. This is a new Zoom world for everyone. So what we are going to talk about today, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I do want to just reiterate that if you have any questions during the presentation, please put them in the chat. That is going to be the best place to communicate with us, and we will go through all of those messages at the end of the webinar. Okay, great. So, apologize. All right, so what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about potential obstacles to watch out for when planning Q4 orders. We're going to talk about opportunities for navigating those obstacles, some helpful ideas for Q4 gifts, and then we're going to go over some helpful resources that we put together for reference so that we can do some continued learning together. And also, what to expect in the follow-up email. I'm going to send out this slide deck, a recording of the webinar, links to our references and resources that we go over during the webinar, a link to request samples of any of the products that we mentioned today, even if you just want a sample pack for your showroom or something like that, I guess virtual showroom these days. An introduction to your dedicated account manager if you're one of our new faces. The announcement of the winner of the free self promo will also be in that email, so make sure to look out for that. And a special secret invitation that we'll go over at the end of the presentation. Another thing that you're going to get in the follow-up, I went a little crazy, I was a little excited. I did put together a Christmas in July playlist on Spotify, which is what you heard when you joined the webinar, and that is going to be in the follow-up email as well. So little festive treat for you guys. So before we get into our first section, if you guys could just participate in another quick poll, that would be great. Okay, awesome. So thank you guys so much for voting. It looks like the main two concerns are canceled events and budget cuts, with a little bit of concern on shipping and logistics. Totally understand. Those are all concerns that we share as well. I think everyone in the industry is kind of feeling a bit. So we're going to go over kind of what are some potential obstacles as well as opportunities to navigate through those upcoming issues. So I think everybody likes a little inspirational quote every now and then. And, you know, on the heels of that great documentary that was out, I think Michael Jordan's always a good inspiration. Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. I think that's something that we're facing in our personal lives as well as our professional lives. And a thing that we've been trying to do here at Saw Club is just identify those obstacles and try to turn them into opportunities. So product sourcing is one of the things that could be a concern. I think this because at the beginning of the year with the extended Chinese New Year closure after the coronavirus outbreak, we definitely saw some people scrambling to source products domestically on a quick turn that didn't have to deal with the difficulty with imports or the fact that just the factories were shut down. And so I think that's something that to look out for with the potential of another outbreak in the fall. Supply chain disruption is more of a reality than ever. Even domestically, we saw facilities shut down. I know ASI, PPAI, and all those organizations were pretty good about publishing which suppliers were open, which weren't, and things to look out for there. However, that is still something to be aware of, even if we can't necessarily plan for all of that. So potential factors that we're looking out for as indicators of a potential disruption in product sourcing and manufacturing are another COVID outbreak or a rise in cases that would make a shutdown happen, and policy changes and pressures due to the upcoming 2020 U.S. election. Regardless of political leanings, it's going to be contentious, and I think that definitely the U.S. economy is going to be a focus of that election. So there could be potential tax cuts or proposed tax increases to kind of sway the election. Just something to look out for, and a reason to get your orders in early before budgets are affected by that. Another thing that happened last fall that is something to look out for, and this is kind of tied into the election, is an escalation of the US and China trade war. The tariffs rising in the fall led to a lot of price hikes and no price guarantees. That was a little bit unpredictable for all of us. I think no one likes to sell something at one price and then have to change the price or lose money on the order in the end. So that's just maybe a reason to source things domestically or outside of China, or a reason to get your orders in early enough that that's potentially not affected because it's far enough away from the election. Shipping and delivery is another obstacle that we're seeing right now. This is not something that we necessarily saw last fall, but it has become a problem since the coronavirus. More people are shopping online now than ever, which means more volume flowing through the delivery service. We see this, Amazon has stopped guaranteeing Prime 2-day delivery. I think when that happened, that was kind of the biggest indicator that there was a disruption in the whole system, because that's their whole thing is 2-day shipping. So if they're not able to offer that same benefit, it is something to look out for in your orders. Deadlines don't stop, even if there is a delivery delay. So it's important to just plan for that disruption. Other disruptions that are potential things that you should plan for are hub delays due to high volume. I know we had an order get stuck in an Oakland hub for 2 weeks. There's that's a particular hub that has a lot of backups, but I think when you're going through the order process, it's important to ask your supplier about any potential delays in your destination. Their operations or production team should be able to look into that for you and plan around that, either shipping a bit early, shipping to a different destination, and having it somehow transported. There are a million different solutions for that problem, as long as it's identified early and planned for. Potential USPS funding issues. This seems to have gotten a bit better in the past month. However, the Postal Service is still in a bad position financially. If you are doing an order through individual fulfillment, that's where we see the most orders going through the Postal Service. It might be worth checking out a DHL option, or just kind of seeing the difference in cost. That just might give you a little bit more security in your order. Not to say the Postal Service is going to shut down or anything like that, but it is a current situation that could affect an order timeline, and that's what we really don't want. Unexpected office or facility closures. This happened a lot more in April than it has in the past couple of months. I was going to say weeks, but it definitely has been a few months since April. So if there is another shutdown in the fall, this is something to look out for. What we have done at Sock Club is confirm the address often, maybe more often than our clients would like, but we really don't want a delivery to be missed. So we check in 2 days before it's about to ship, and just say, are you sure? Is this the place that you want this to go? Because if it is delivered to an office that is closed, there is the potential that the package will be sent back. So that's just confirm the address early and often. And then increased shipping prices on imports. This definitely affected us at the beginning of the pandemic, because cargo space coming out of China was very limited. So the shipping cost to get on planes skyrocketed. It's normalized a bit. It's close to normal now, but if there is another outbreak, that could be something that affects it. So a good way to avoid that is shipping by boat if the order is large enough and if the timeline permits. But the biggest way to avoid that is to buy domestic. So that's just something to consider. Like we talked about, order early. That's the biggest way to avoid a lot of these obstacles, is give time for creative solutions. That will allow a lot more possibilities because you're not restricted by timeline. Source USA-made products to minimize risk. I think even we saw like the hand sanitizer being sourced out of Mexico. Some facilities were contained toxic chemicals. Luckily, we were pretty careful in our sourcing and didn't encounter that ourselves. But USA-made products are generally the safest bet, in my experience. And think outside the box. When that shipment that we had got stuck in Oakland, we hired a courier to go pick up the shipment and deliver it to the client. That was the first time we've done that, but it's about being creative right now. Also, if you're trying to deliver a shipment early so that it doesn't get stuck in a hub, if it's a big enough order, is there a storage unit you can put it in if your client doesn't have the space to store it? Does your supplier offer storage until your order is ready or the client is ready to receive delivery? Personally, that is something that we do. I think a few suppliers offer that, so it just kind of depends on what your needs are. But it's really about getting really creative with our solutions. So we're going to have another little quick poll really quickly. Okay, great. Thank you so much for participating in that poll. It looks like most of you are excited about anything and everything. Let's pivot, which is super exciting. And one of the reasons that I love this industry so much is because everyone gets really excited about creativity. And to me, that means that we're all excited about turning these obstacles into opportunities. I know April was a super hard month for a lot of us getting used to working at home. And at Sock Club, we really kind of put our creative thinking into gear and released like 8 new products in the span of a couple of weeks. But that kind of creativity, I think, is the key to getting through this. So I think pivoting, whatever the next few months bring, I think as long as we're up for the challenge, I think we'll get through it together. New products as well, same. Um, and I'm very excited about talking about individual kits today. I've got a few ideas that I'm excited to share. So we're going to go back to the presentation. I've got another quote, please forgive me. Entrepreneurs are simply those who understand that there is little difference between obstacles and opportunity and are able to turn both to their advantage. I think this gets right into being excited about anything and everything. We are all in control of our own little businesses, and I think it's really cool to be able to be nimble enough to meet those challenges. So the first opportunity I want to talk about is virtual events. Um, when we had our obstacle poll, most of you said that one of the things that you were really nervous about was events getting canceled. That was an obstacle that you guys saw coming up in the next few months. One thing that we are excited about is turning on-site or in-person events into virtual events. I think this can be done really well, and you guys can kind of help your clients think of ideas around this and think of methodology to do that. We do have a resource about different kind of platforms that you can use and how you can plan those. That will go out in the follow-up email. So why are events great? Because they're a really good source of lead generation and a really good source of employee unification. If it's a national sales meeting or just like a company holiday party, how can we kind of turn those into virtual events? Because those goals, that lead generation, that employee unification, those don't go away. Those are still goals for the company. So we just have to find different ways to achieve them. So some important things to consider when promoting virtual events are: what is the story? Why would people want to communicate? What kind of common thread can you use throughout the whole presentation or event? I think that's important because it helps people feel united by one message going into an event that can feel kind of isolating, in contrast with in-person or on-site events that have been such a high energy feeling beforehand. Just thinking about, going to PPAI and like what would that look like if it were virtual. I think a lot of the energy that we feel as a team when we go to PPI is because of the people and connecting with people. So if the connection is the thing that brings the energy, how do we put that connection into a different place? Pre-show promotion. So this is really cool. I think this is a really great opportunity for some interesting ideas around promo. Putting together some gifting, I saw this really awesome box that someone did for Microsoft that included like a little badge in it, like a fake badge, which I just thought was really cute, because that's when you get really excited about your event, is when you get there and you get your badge and you're like, it's time. And there's a link to that in one of the resources that I'm going to provide as well. Social communities. This is a big one. There are a lot of ways to engineer that social connection. It can be a Slack channel, it can be a WhatsApp group, it can be a house party. I'll have links to all those as well, but getting people to connect will kind of help bring that energy that used to be just an in-person interview or in-person feeling. And then reusing content from past years to get people excited. This is a big thing that you can do with your virtual event as well, but use that energy that was captured at previous events to get people excited about the story of the event that you're trying to promote currently. Other things that are really cool, branded items specific to different parts of the virtual event. Can you send people a shaker for a virtual cocktail hour or a water bottle for a virtual group yoga? I know a lot of people are really trying to work out at home. Maybe they're just buying workout clothes to sit on the couch at home, whatever, that's fine. Everybody's getting through this their own way. But creating stories around those little events help people feel connected. I think that's the really cool part about what we do. So if you can brand specific items to specific events, it does encourage participation in events throughout the whole conference, meeting, whatever it is, so that there's sustained participation instead of just initial participation. Post-show promotion, different levels of gifts for VIP attendees. So if it's a lead generation thing, are you scoring the leads? Is there a higher value item that you can send out to your highest scoring leads? Providing network spaces to facilitate ongoing communication between attendees. How are you going to foster that connection afterward? How are they going to continue thinking about that event in the future? And a drip campaign with direct mail pieces. We are going back to direct mail. Very excited about that, excuse me. One idea that I had, I was like, drip campaign, how cute would it be if you did like a bag of coffee and a mug? We don't sell any of those things, but I was like, drip, I don't know, I love a pun. So virtual events are a great way to put some new ideas into the world. Another thing that's an opportunity that we are really excited about is individual gift boxes. So when we were kind of talking about what makes what we do special and why would people still connect with promotional items during this time, one of our co-founders brought up the fact that gift giving is one of the 5 love languages. This is something that people use to communicate how much they care about someone. So if we are providing a gift experience through our branded items, then that is innate to how we communicate our love and care for each other. It's also a great opportunity to create a viral social campaign around people receiving their individual gifts. This could be pre-show promotion. This could be just a client appreciation gift. It could be, employee wellness, just kind of whatever it is. If you're looking to help your clients spread the word about their initiative, people love posting boxes of cute stuff on social media. It's the new food Instagram. People love it. So it's kind of an organic way to get the message out and get buy-in from your clients. It also makes meaningful personal connections. It's an opportunity for that. This is a good opportunity for variable data printing or kind of build your own box. There's a potential for that if you set up a landing page and people are able to select different items that they want and put that in their box. Anytime people can feel like it's personal to them and their needs, they're going to be more connected with the item. So some gift box orders that we have seen as common packages and kits that we've put together are a work from home care package, a return to work essentials kit, client appreciation gifts, and virtual event gift bags. I have some ideas for each of these. I'm very excited to share. I love the promotional products industry, if you can't tell. We'll go over those in a minute. So another opportunity is kitting, drop shipping, and fulfillment. Um, I think we should plan for people to be in their homes in Q4. I think more likely than not, even if things are looking up, I think that businesses who have employees that are able to work remotely will continue to allow their employees to work remotely to minimize risk on their part, which makes complete sense to me. But this is kitting, drop shipping, and fulfillment, sending individual packages to people. That is a good way to plan for people to be in their homes in Q4. Um, Again, I want to touch on variable data printing. I think this is really the key to making somebody feel really special when they receive a gift, and that is what this is all about. And so we at Sock Club started as a subscription service. So we create a gift experience for our subscribers each month. It's something that we did even before we did promotional products. So we have learned a lot about kitting, drop shipping, and fulfillment, mostly by messing up in the early days and creating processes for that not to happen again. But this is a thing that a lot of people are offering now to kind of like pivot, like we all want to do, and meet the needs of our clients. However, with that, I don't. With that new experience might come some pitfalls. So here are some things to look for in a kitting or shipping partner. Will the kitter put together items that they did not manufacture? If it's a supplier doing kitting, this is more of a risk than if you're sending the items to a completely fulfillment-based service. Some suppliers do both. We personally do both, but that is a question to ask up front in case that, obviously we don't sell coffee and coffee mugs for my drip campaign that I really want one of you guys to do, but we would definitely put it in a box for you and make the box. So I think it's just about making sure you're asking the right questions up front and finding out the limitations before you sell the item. How much lead time do they need? That's another thing, because we have a whole process and we process thousands of orders of socks every month. We have a pretty robust kitting team, and so they're able to kit and fulfill things very quickly. However, if someone is trying to do this for the first time, they might need a bit more lead time to make sure that they get things right. So it's important to be really kind of conservative on that time estimate if you're working with someone who is new to kitting and fulfillment. Will they store the order if the client orders early? If you can get your client to order early, good for you, wonderful. We all love that. But some people do not offer storage, and since a lot of offices are closed, a lot of clients that did have storage facilities now do not. So if your kitting and shipping partner does offer storage, that is going to make things a bit easier for you. Like I said, we do offer storage, but it's just something to ask up front as well. Can your partner advise you on shipping methods based on your package specs and delivery timelines? So shipping is a bit complicated. I'm very lucky that we have a very knowledgeable operations team so that I don't have to know every single in and out of shipping. However, I do know that sometimes small packages are heavy, and so they're very expensive, and sometimes large packages are light, and they're very expensive. Also, some quantities and weights work for services that might be outside of your price range. So I think it's just really important to talk with your supplier about what you're thinking in your idea so that you can kind of get an idea of what shipping service and timeline is going to work best for you. I know probably the most complicated thing is arranging for every single package to arrive on the same day. However, that can be done. Has your partner done individual fulfillment before? Kitting and individual fulfillment, or drop shipping as it is sometimes known, are very different skills, kind of. Putting something in a package so that it delivers correctly and it goes through the mail and does not get held up due to some minor inconvenience is a skill that is learned. So if your kidder has not done individual mailing before, it is something to discuss up front and just make sure everything's going the right way. Can they provide tracking on individual orders? This is especially important if some sort of follow-up is supposed to trigger once somebody receives their order to make sure that all of the orders get delivered. If that is a specification of your client, there are shipping services that will work for you. Postal service, just normal shipments, that's maybe not something that's going to work there, but if budget is your concern, that's probably the best way to go. However, there are upgraded postal service messages, services that offer tracking, and it's important that your partner has a robust shipping management system so that you're easily able to get all those tracking numbers or have them track the shipments for you so that you can get on to selling and they can worry about your order being delivered. Ideas, my favorite part. Okay, so we talked about those 4 main types of kits that we have seen. And I think these are really great for virtual events, which addresses the problem of events being canceled. So work from home kit turns into work out from home kit, which could include some branded cotton athletic socks. If you guys have not seen those, they are my favorite socks that we make. They have cushion in the heel and toe and compression in the footbed. We can do them crew length or ankle length. They're just very comfortable. An engraved water bottle, an invitation to a company-wide month-long fitness series on Zoom. How fun would that be to coordinate with some local fitness professionals and get the company involved on a weekly basis on like a different type of fitness activity? And a custom playing card deck with a different 30-second exercise on each card. We do offer custom playing cards. This particular thing is not something that we have done before, but I think that would be so cool. And somebody could potentially just shuffle the deck, pick out 10 cards, and then that would be their workout for the day. How fun is that? I love that idea. Potential return to work essentials kit. This might be a little bit less fun, but it is very thoughtful and will show the employees that you're thinking about their safety as they return to work. Custom face mask. We recommend adjustable straps. We do have a model with adjustable straps that just kind of like fits all sorts of heads. Good employees comes in all shapes and sizes, so it's important to think about that. A 5-pack of mask filters. Reusable masks are great because you can wash them and wear them and kind of have them all the time, but that filter does provide an extra layer of protection. We do provide them in 2, 5, and 10 packs, which are personal use for like a certain amount of time, but your account manager can kind of walk you through all of that. A 2-ounce hand sanitizer for personal use. A lot of people are looking for bulk hand sanitizers to put in their offices. But that doesn't necessarily account for is a lot of people using that particular thing. It's just a concern. I don't know if it's a valid concern, but you can't avoid that with a personal sized hand sanitizer that can be refilled. A pack of quality pens and an individual coffee mug or cup. One of my friends is an office manager for a large multinational company, and their biggest risk that they see is shared office supplies and snack bowls and things like that. But people are aware of mask wearing. They're aware of using hand sanitizers, but habits that might be harder to break are sharing office supplies and kind of touching other people's things. So anytime that you can minimize that risk by providing personal supplies, that's going to be a win for your client. Client appreciation gift. This is my favorite one, I think. So, of course, the theme of this gift is pay it forward. I think everyone's looking for a little bit of meaning and connection to their community and a way to give back to a society when everything kind of feels so tough. It's important that we feel connected and that we give what we can because there are so many people hurting right now. So this is the pay it forward themed kit. So it's all about sustainability, giving back, and making your clients feel like they they are appreciated, and that you can show their appreciation by giving back to the community, supporting the community in their name. So of course, some branded USA made dress socks from Sock Club with recyclable packaging. This gives back to the American economy. It's, our mills are family owned, and uh, really great small businesses that provide amazing middle class jobs. So it's important that we support our American industry. A tote bag made from recyclable materials. I have some links to some cool ones that I found. A custom leather koozie or dust tray made by an organization with an amazing social purpose. I have a link to this as well. Uwe Products out of Asheville, North Carolina, employs all of their manufacturing employees have autism or on the spectrum in some way, which is really, really cool. And their products are sustainable. So great to support an organization like that. And a donation made in their name to a local organization that aligns with their values. Maybe it's a local food bank, maybe it's a national organization, but you can print that on a custom folding card with a personalized note. Of course, if we're sending these individually from our fulfillment facility, handwritten note might not be a thing, but we can scan a handwritten note and print it in there for you. The last one is a gift bag for virtual events, the theme being virtual travel. So I think we're all kind of itching for a vacation that we can't necessarily take right now. So if the vacation that you're looking forward to was an event in a city outside of your own, I know I love going to ASI Chicago, and I'm very much missing that this month. It might be a fun thing to put together a gift bag with items that are themed for that destination. So a custom puzzle, which we can offer you with a photo of the location where the original event was supposed to happen. A travel-sized item representing the local flavor, potentially beignet mix for New Orleans. There is a link to this in one of the resources. As you can tell, I got very excited about this. Branded eye masks or slippers to bring the relaxing feeling of a hotel to their home, and a leather luggage tag with the company's logo on it. I believe Uwe Products offers this as well, but I did put a link to an additional company in there for you guys. So you can kind of, there are references for all of these products, but I think the point is that there are amazing ideas out there. All right, we're gonna do our final poll. Okay, great. Thank you guys so much for participating in that poll. It looks like the number one thing is the creativity. Obviously, that's kind of what keeps us all going. Number two, the people, absolutely. I think we all got into this business to be creative and stayed because of the people and the clients that we met. Learning from others' experiences and resources. I think most people have experienced a problem once. So no matter how strange the issue is, I think there's another person out there that can help you with that. And sharing ideas for clients is another one. Obviously, that's one of my favorite things since I just got so jazzed about that last part. But I think all of those are amazing reasons that we're all grateful to be in this community. So that being said, we're going to go over the resources that you're going to receive after the webinar. But before we get into that, just on that note, I think this has been something that I've kind of held close throughout this whole thing. If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I think we're all facing obstacles right now that maybe we have encountered on a small scale, but not on a large scale. And so I think it's really important if we want to get through this together, stronger and better, that we do it together. So tips and resources. So we are going to, this is kind of like what you can expect in the resource follow-up. There's a blog of how COVID-19 will affect product sourcing and shipping in Q4, how to make a virtual event a success, what are the best ideas for corporate gifting in 2020. That's where you can find those ideas that we just went over, as well as the links. And kitting, drop shipping, and fulfillment, a step-by-step guide. This is just tips and tricks to keep in mind as you look for a kitting and drop shipping partner. The special secret invitation that was mentioned in the first slide is a link to, or an invite to, SOC Club's official LinkedIn group for our distributor partners. One thing that we encountered when we were inviting people to the webinar is that some people aren't getting our communication about these type of events. And that can be, a variety of reasons, email filters, not going through specific channels. But we really wanted to create a space that was not about necessarily buying SOC Club products, but about sharing ideas, identifying common obstacles and opportunities to overcome them, and kind of getting to know our team on a more personal basis. We're really, really excited about this. I think this is a really great way to communicate in a personal way that gets us out of email and kind of into a more organic space. So I'm very excited to introduce that to you. That will be in your email as well. And I will also link to all of these blogs on the LinkedIn group. I posted the quotes there as well because I just love a quote. And I will put a recording of this webinar on there as well. So now we're going to get into some questions. I'll pull up the questions here. Okay. So Chasen asked, does SOC Club send free samples of care packages or kits? Yes. So we absolutely will do that for you. All you have to do is send us your address and we will send that sample your way. Another thing that we can do is mock up a kit virtually that's branded for your client. So when you're pitching it, it will actually have their branding. They can see what it looks like in real life. We find the combination of the two really, really works to give people an idea of what they'll be getting and why they should get it. What new product am I most excited about? I guess the combination of the products that we are offering is what I'm most excited about. One of I spoke a little bit about our April pivot earlier this year where we introduced a lot of new products. But what we kind of realized in that in that exercise was that we can find cool stuff. Like if we have an idea for a cool item, it's not that hard for us to find a way to make it. Our production team is incredible and they have wonderful high standards. And so very confident about that. But the most excited thing, the thing that makes me most excited about that is the opportunity to pair things together, excuse me, and really make some cool combinations out of existing items and really come up with an idea instead of just selling one product. So that's what I'm most excited about. Caroline asked, I mentioned that we don't sell coffee mugs or coffee, but is that something you could help source? Absolutely, Caroline. If I have to do it myself, I will. I'm really excited about this drip campaign, so like, let's do it together. We can 100% do that. Anything that you're having trouble finding, just let us know. We love the hunt. Can we do rush fulfillment orders? Absolutely. We never charge rush fees, so the only thing that you might pay for is expedited shipping, but we'll do everything we can to avoid that. But basically, just let us know your timeline and we'll make it happen. Can we ship custom boxes to, can you ship custom boxes to us, or do we have to buy them from Sock Club? You can send us any products and we'll cut and fulfill them, like no problem at all. If you have boxes on hand that you're trying to use or something like that, not a problem at all. We do offer a variety of standard box sizes as well as custom box sizes, but boxes are the same as any other product. If you are looking for a source for them, then we can absolutely do that for you. Can you all ship on your own account when doing fulfillment? Absolutely. Absolutely. However you want to ship, it's up to you. We will make it happen. And then how do you request mock-ups or virtuals? So two main ways. You can either just send us an email with a logo, or you can fill out the form on our website, or give us a call. I mean, send me a message on LinkedIn, kind of. However, what we want to do is make wins happen for your client. So just send us logos if you have them. Vector, of course, preferred, especially if we're doing a box or some sort of printed item, and then we will get it going for you. All right, so it looks like we are running out of time, and that is pretty much the end of our questions. So you will get a survey after the webinar, just kind of with a couple of questions about improvements that we can make or topics that we should cover in the future. I would appreciate if you would fill that out. It will really help us improve our experience for next time. Also, you will get a follow-up email in about an hour with all of this information in there, the playlist, which I know is what you guys are most excited about, an invitation to the LinkedIn group, and kind of connecting you with our team. And that should be about it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or anyone on the team. We are here for you. Even if you just want to brainstorm, obviously I get super excited about that. So we're just here to be your partner in any way we can, and I'm really looking forward to continuing this discussion in our new fun LinkedIn group. Thanks, everybody.